One notification, that's all it takes. One tiny vibration, one quick look, 1 second, and suddenly your brain is gone. You were supposed to study, you were supposed to work, you were supposed to fix your life, but somehow you ended up watching random videos you never even planned to watch. And now it's midnight again. When was the last time you focused on one thing without touching your phone? 5 minutes? 10? An entire hour? Most people can't even remember. And honestly, that should scare you. Because humans once built civilizations with focus. Humans crossed oceans with no GPS. Scientists spent decades solving impossible problems. Artists painted masterpieces for years. Writers created books longer than most people's attention spans today. But now people struggle to watch a 10-minute video without checking another app. So what happened? Did humans suddenly become weak? Did our brains suddenly break? Or is something happening to us that nobody fully understands yet? Because what if your inability to focus isn't entirely your fault? What if your brain is being trained against you? Right now, while you're listening to this, thousands of engineers are sitting inside billion-dollar companies trying to answer one question. How do we keep people watching longer, not happier, longer? Because your attention is worth money. Every second you stay on a platform, someone profits. Which means your focus has quietly become one of the most valuable resources in the world. Think about that. The modern economy literally runs on human attention. And some of the smartest people alive are competing to control yours. That's why apps feel impossible to leave. That's why videos autoplay. That's why notifications are bright red. That's why social media never ends. You can scroll forever. There's no stopping point, because if there were, you might finally think. And silence is dangerous for distraction companies, because silence makes humans aware of wasted time, aware of loneliness, aware of unfinished goals, aware of how much life is quietly slipping away. So instead, the world keeps you stimulated constantly, and slowly, your brain changes. Yesterday, you probably touched your phone over 100 times, not because you needed to, because your brain asked for it. That tiny habit sounds harmless. But repeated thousands of times, it rewires your attention. Because your brain adapts to whatever environment you repeatedly expose it to. And your environment today is completely unnatural. Thousands of years ago, human life moved slowly. There was silence, stillness, boredom. Humans sat with their thoughts, walked without stimulation, ate without entertainment, waited without distraction. But today, the second boredom appears, we destroy it instantly. Waiting for food, phone, sitting in a car, phone, walking somewhere, phone, before sleep, phone, after waking up, phone. Your brain never truly rests anymore. And a brain that never rests slowly loses its ability to focus deeply. Boredom actually mattered more than most people realize, because boredom is where thinking begins, creativity begins, self-awareness begins. Some of the greatest ideas in human history came from moments of silence. But modern humans are becoming afraid of silence because silence feels uncomfortable now. And that discomfort reveals something terrifying. Your brain has become addicted to stimulation. Inside your brain is dopamine, the chemical that drives anticipation, not happiness. Anticipation. It's the feeling that says, maybe the next thing will be rewarding. Thousands of years ago, dopamine helped humans survive. It pushed humans to hunt, explore, search, and solve problems. But modern technology hacked that system completely. Now dopamine comes instantly. One swipe, one click, one notification, one short video, one refresh. Your brain gets rewarded constantly without effort. And slowly your brain begins changing its expectations. Effort starts feeling unbearable. Reading feels exhausting, studying feels painful, working feels impossible. Even watching long videos becomes difficult. Because compared to scrolling, real life moves slowly. And the scary part is that this doesn't just affect productivity, it changes how humans experience life itself, because focus is deeply connected to meaning. Think about the happiest moments of your life. Laughing with friends, playing outside as a child, learning something exciting, working towards something meaningful. Notice something. You were fully present. Your attention wasn't split between 10 different things, you were immersed. But now most people are never fully anywhere. Watching one thing while thinking about another. Checking another notification during conversations, scrolling during movies, looking at phones during meals, and slowly life begins feeling emptier. Not because life became meaningless, but because distracted brains struggle to feel meaning deeply. And there's another problem almost nobody talks about. Modern life is overwhelming your brain. Every day your brain processes messages, videos, headlines, opinions, ads, music, emails, alerts, updates, breaking news, and endless information. Your ancestors never experienced anything remotely close to this. Your brain evolved for survival in nature, not infinite digital stimulation. Imagine forcing your body to sprint every hour of the day. Eventually it collapses. Your brain works the same way. Constant stimulation creates mental exhaustion. And exhausted brains cannot focus. This is why so many people feel tired all the time even when they barely moved physically. Because mental exhaustion is real exhaustion. And overloaded brains crave easy dopamine. That's why distraction feels comforting. That's why scrolling feels relaxing. Your brain wants escape. But here's the trap. Distraction feels good temporarily while quietly making focus weaker long-term, which means every hour spent training distraction makes future focus harder, and that creates a dangerous cycle. You can't focus, so you seek distraction. Distraction weakens focus further, which makes you seek even more distraction, and slowly years begin disappearing. That's the terrifying part. Most people don't notice this happening until years are gone. Imagine waking up 5 years from now with the same habits, the same distractions, and the same unfinished goals. You look at the things you once dreamed about, the skills you wanted to learn, the life you wanted to create, the person you wanted to become, and suddenly it hits you. The problem wasn't intelligence, it wasn't talent, it wasn't opportunity. Your attention was stolen, and while you were distracted, time kept moving. That is the real danger of losing focus. Not wasted hours, wasted potential, wasted years. But here's the good news. Your brain can recover, humans are adaptable, your attention can become strong again. But rebuilding focus feels uncomfortable at first because your brain became dependent on stimulation. Silence feels strange, stillness feels boring, deep work feels painful, but that discomfort is actually healing. It means your brain is relearning focus. Think about exercise. The first workout hurts, but over time your body adapts. Focus works exactly the same way. At first your brain resists deep work. It craves stimulation. It wants quick dopamine. But if you keep training focus, your brain slowly changes. Attention becomes stronger. Stillness becomes peaceful. Reading becomes easier. Thinking becomes deeper. And eventually, focus feels natural again. Because in the most distracted generation in human history, focus becomes a superpower. While most people are distracted, someone else is learning, building, practicing, creating, and improving. And over years, that difference becomes enormous. Because attention compounds. A focused person improves every day. A distracted person resets every day. And eventually, the gap becomes massive. But here's the final truth. This isn't really about phones. It's about your life. Because whatever controls your attention controls your future. If distraction controls your attention, years disappear. But if purpose controls your attention, your future changes completely. One day you will wake up and realize something terrifying. Most of your life was shaped by what you repeatedly paid attention to, the skills you developed, the mindset you built, the people you became close to, the future you created. All of it came from attention, which means the battle for your focus is actually the battle for your future. Maybe the real problem isn't that we can't focus anymore. Maybe it's that the world profits when we don't. And once you realize that, you stop treating attention like something small. You start protecting it like your future depends on it. Because it does. So the real question isn't why we can't focus anymore. The real question is this: who is controlling your attention right now? And if you don't take it back, what kind of future are you slowly creating? And if you want bonus information for this topic, you can listen on the second audio track named Klingon.